Trauma bonding. Trauma bonding in relationships. What is trauma bonding? Hi, my name is Mina. I'm currently in school to become a mental health therapist. I love combining my passion for psychology with life wisdom. So let's dive into what trauma bonding really is. What is trauma bonding in relationships? So trauma bonding in relationships means that you have an unhealthy attachment to a person, and there exists like a power dynamic within the relationship where one person will emotionally or physically abuse the other person and then will offset it with excessive love, flowers, gifts, whatever makes the other person feel better. And it creates this vicious cycle. So that's what trauma bonding essentially is. But let's get into the 7 steps of what it includes. And then I want to give you 2 things that you probably never heard of to help you start healing from this trauma bonding relationship, because I know it's definitely very complex and difficult. Okay, so the first step is love bombing. If you've ever experienced this, you know what I'm talking about. You meet this person and then they start showering you with gifts, compliments, things you have never heard before. They fill that empty space inside of you. You wonder where this person has been all your life. You didn't even know you had an empty space inside. You didn't know that hearing these things from somebody will help you feel better about yourself. But this person walks into your life and then flips it upside down. And now you are starting to slowly get sucked in. Love bombing is almost an excessive amount of adoration and love. It's almost unnatural. So the second step is that the person will start to create trust and dependency with you. They'll promise you everything. They'll promise you a marriage. They'll promise you a lifetime of healthy attachment and gifts and pleasure and just happiness. You know, something that we all want. But this is a way to kind of get you dependent on them, on their love, on everything else. And oftentimes in the stage, you'll start to notice that they will feel some type of way when you start giving your time to other people. Maybe they won't like you going out with your friends or staying too long at your family's house or having any other person that can influence you in your life. They will start to have a problem with it, or you'll kind of notice it if you pay attention to their behavior. But let's get into the third one. So the third step in trauma bonding is criticism. So once affection and dependency has been established within the relationship, they'll start nitpicking things that they see in you. This is done to make you feel more insecure about yourself so that you're even more dependent on them to fill that void than you were previously without them. So criticizing you and making you feel less about yourself gives them more of an opportunity for you to depend on them, for you to rely on them. Now, the stage of criticism happens so slowly. You have this person who used to love bomb you with all these gifts and these praises, and all of a sudden they're criticizing you for maybe the same things they were complimenting you about. It's confusing, and it's normal to be confused because your brain is still probably saying, what the heck, what's going on? The fourth stage of trauma bonding is gaslighting. And I know this term is thrown around a lot, but it basically means that when you feel like there's something wrong in the relationship, something doesn't feel right, they're not calling like they used to, they're not being kind to you like they used to, they're criticizing you a little too much, they're not giving their time to you like they used to, and you think it's weird, so you bring it up to them, right? And they make you feel that everything you're feeling, everything you're thinking, all the micro behaviors you're picking up on are invalid. You're crazy. There's something wrong with you. And this is called gaslighting because they make you believe that you're out of your mind, when in reality, it is the truth. You picked up on some things that are important. The fifth stage of trauma bonding in relationships is resignation. Resignation means that they just have a hold of you. There's no healthy communication. You are just there to please them. You've submitted to your partner, and your partner understands that you've submitted. The power dynamic is understood. In this stage, you probably understand on a subconscious level, on an emotional level, that something is wrong here. You're not in a normal relationship, but it becomes very hard to leave. And this segues into the sixth stage of trauma bonding in relationships called loss of self. In this stage, you have completely submitted to your partner. You probably isolate, you probably don't see your family and friends. Your goal, your mission in life is to please your partner above all, even if it's detrimental to your health. You are now in this vicious cycle where you are emotionally or physically abused. Then you are love bombed with praise and compliments and love to offset that abuse. And it just becomes this vicious cycle of you wanting to please your partner so that you could get back to the point of praise, of love, of adoration. You take these negative feelings and you wait for the positive feelings that are yet to come. And this goes right into the seventh stage called emotional addiction. Now, not many people talk about this, but the emotional addiction part is so difficult to overcome because when that person doesn't call us, when that person doesn't give us the time of day, and they used to, we can literally feel physiological effects. You can feel like you're withdrawing from substances. It's a literal feeling. You're not just emotionally in pain. You feel this. You feel like this child that just lost its parent. You don't know what to do because this person has created this cycle of dependence. You started depending on them for your love, validation, for everything. They made it into your life and became the center of your world. You have no identity. You don't know what to do without them. Your sense of self, sense of purpose is them. And this is addiction. This is emotional addiction. This is trauma bonding. So I'm going to give you 2 ways that you've never heard of to start healing from this trauma bonding relationship. So the first way to start healing from a trauma bonding relationship is to realize that you are not the abused. You are not the victim. Now, I know many other people on the internet will tell you you're the abused one, you're the victim of the whole situation. But I want to let you know that you have a choice whether you're a victim or not. Now, I've been through this experience many times because I had a lot of childhood neglect and then I started to rely on other people to fill that void. So I understand the depths of pain this can bring. But I want to let you know that this experience, if you sit down and you are able to process it, gives you great strength and gives you great insight about what space, what gaps, what broken parts inside of you need to be mended, need to be healed in order to find a better partner in the future. You become sharper with people and their micro behaviors. You become sharper in understanding human nature. So to simplify what I'm saying, I want you to think about, how did this person make you fall in love with them? What were some of the spaces, some of the voids they filled inside of you? What made you think to yourself, oh my goodness, where was this person all my life? What did they do? That's a good starting point for you to think about what parts of you inside were already lacking. So think about this. In the beginning, when they started love bombing you, did they give you excessive compliments? Did they make you feel better about yourself? I know in my experience, one of my spaces or my voids inside was my lack of self-esteem. And this person would just love bomb me with tons of compliments that I wished I heard from family members, from the people around me. And I thought to myself, wow, I feel great about myself. And this is one of the ways that I got entangled. The dependence started there because they started to fill a void that was not filled. So I want you to think about, what did this person do in the beginning that led you to depending on them? Did they bring you flowers every day? Did they call you and text you and make you feel needed? Did they compliment you and make you feel better about yourself? And doing this gives us great insight into what our weak spot is. So in the future, if you ever come across someone who is really hitting that weak spot of yours. Let's say they make you feel needed. They text you every 10 minutes, every hour. What are you doing? How are you? How are you feeling? And it's excessive, but it makes you feel great. We know that's something we need to kind of sit down and think about. Why is this person being so excessive in the beginning? I wonder what this could really mean. We need to take a step back and really look at the situation for what it is before we jump right in, because not everything that glitters is gold. Now, the second step is understanding micro behaviors and human nature. I talk a lot about this in my video, How to Be More Confident, but micro behaviors essentially is your potential to look at people's tiny behaviors and kind of make a pattern. Let's say this person acts a certain way in a certain situation. They're really nice to you outside in public. They're they put you on a pedestal, they bring you up. But behind closed doors, they kind of flip into a different person. Or it's like an up and down, up and down. You start to analyze these behaviors regardless of your emotional state of loving them. This is really important. Logic does not leave in love, right? When you love someone, your logic shouldn't just leave the door. And that goes with parental and child love as well. It's important when you enter a new relationship. Distinguish what you're feeling as opposed to what you're seeing. And like I always say, close your ears and let your eyes hear. It's better to watch behavior, because if one moment this person is hot, and one moment this person is cold, it's most likely that they're taking advantage of you. They're taking you on an emotional roller coaster. And whether it be that they mean to do it or they're manipulating you, either way, you don't deserve that. You deserve better. Learning human nature, the truth about human nature. Not every person is a good person. There are some wolves in sheep's clothing. Despite all the good things that they give to you, despite all the compliments, all the praises, understanding where those praises might be coming from and why this person is doing what they're doing is really, really important to ensure that you are choosing a partner that is good for you, that is healthy for you, that really means what they say and backs it up with behavior. What is words without behavior? It's absolutely nothing. I want you to have hope. Even if you're in a painful relationship right now, that relationship offers you potential to emerge stronger, wiser, sharper, to find the person that is right for you. Not only in intimate relationships, but relationships in general, because that's what most of our lives are made up of. So comment down below if you've ever experienced a trauma bonding relationship. Don't forget to subscribe for more unconventional ways of thinking about life and psychology. See you in the next one, and take care.